Gang, let's jump straight in it to the national broadsheet tomorrow, and the splash on the Australian reads, voters still yet to decide, according to the Prime Minister. An upbeat and assertive Scott Morrison has vowed a coalition government re-elected on Saturday will be ready to govern on Monday and know what to do, unlike the Labor Party that has acted like a shadow and announced more reviews than policies. Fresh from his official campaign launch on Sunday in Brisbane and campaigning in the Labor-held seat of Blair, the Prime Minister said there would be no delay if the coalition was returned to government because they would know what they're doing on Sunday into Monday. Ollie, the PM sounds a little spooked.
It's the final week, Jenna, so anything goes, doesn't it? It's anything and everything. You've got to throw the kitchen sink at this because obviously the polls are indicating at the moment that the coalition's in a bit of strife. The polls are not also good for Anthony Albanese. So I think both leaders will say anything that they can this week. They will promise the world. They will promise to build every single train station in the country. They'll promise to make sure that every single rail crossing is sunk. If they could promise an extra hour of daylight, they would. Yeah. They will do anything and everything, so be aware of lots of lies.
Or maybe, some fibs here and there. Jem, I feel that the narrative that's been swirling around the Prime Minister for the past couple of days, specifically over the weekend, was that he's just a bad boyfriend and he can change. Do you think that that's what he would like us to be talking about?
I don't know. It's my part of the thing is it's my job to be engaged, and I'm also interested as an adult human of the female variety in politics and in current affairs, but I've not ever been this disengaged from a political process or an election in living memory. I don't know if it's what he wants us to talk about. I think it was sort of semi-brave of him to address it. And the reason it's been an issue is because he hasn't, I mean, like it or not, there's a personality type that's somewhat polarising. Albo is a person. Do you remember those? You guys aren't old enough to remember Charisma Trek back in the day.
No.
You Google it, you young whippersnappers, when you get home. But some of you watching tonight will remember Charisma Trek. I mean, there's just no personality about Albo. That's his problem. He stands for nothing. He's like 1 minute, oh, we're going to ban live sheep trade. Oh, I've spoken to Mark McGowan. Well, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to take 5% to the Fair Work Commission. Oh, crap, we spoke to some big employers. We're not going to do that. He doesn't have a personality for people to criticise. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah, look, it's really interesting that Morrison is on the absolute assault when it comes to PR this week. He has appeared on Channel 2 this evening, and let's just take a look at how that went down.
What happens if you lose? Can we take it as a given that you would be standing down in that scenario? No, we can't take it as a given.
That is not something I'm contemplating, because I'm not contemplating on that being the scenario.
OK, what if there was a hung parliament, Prime Minister? The eventuality of a hung parliament is negotiating with independents and minor parties. Would you be prepared to stand aside to give a new leader a fresh slate and chance to negotiate with those people to keep the coalition in government?
No, I'm not speculating on these scenarios, Lee.
Ollie, I want to play devil's advocate here, and I want to say that I think that the Prime Minister is enjoying questions like this because all of the time that we're spending focusing on him and the personality, we're not putting his policies under a microscope, and I kind of think they like that at this point in time.
I think they do too, and I think that he believes he can win the scrap when he goes man v man, and that's why this week is going to disintegrate into the personality clashes between Albo and ScoMo. So you're right, that's what was dominating that discussion this evening on Channel 2, not necessarily, quizzing the housing policy or quizzing what you're going to do with this, what are you going to do with that. He likes the scrap, he likes the fight. And I think, as you said to me last week, Jenna, there is still that belief, there is still that thought of a lot of people that, voting Conservative or voting Team Blue is not cool, but hey, when I get to the ballot box, no one else is there, so they need not know which box I tick.
Yeah, indeed.